Gary Vaynerchuk is a marketing beast, and he wants you to know one of his critical strategies that he used to build a $300 million a year agency. It's called the Vayner Volume strategy. He also called it brand formants. I guess he couldn't decide on which one he liked better. Because Vayner is kind of like, you got to remember Vayner, and brand formants is a little bit more brandable. But in either case, he wants you to know about it, and he is talking always in such an exasperated tone for years about social media. But that is Gary himself practicing his own craft as a marketer. And he's done an excellent job of it. He's getting attention. He has built this company that has done work with a number of Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 brands. There's a great chance that if you are a business owner and you spent any time on social media, that you have heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, because other people are referencing him all the time. This strategy in particular, it's highly relevant right now because we are in the age of AI, and AI is disrupting everything. As I covered in another recent video, Google made updates to the entire search experience. So zero-click searches are on the rise. Traffic has dropped for many big name brands, both big and small, 50 to 80%. I mean, with HubSpot, for example, their traffic dropped up to 85%. Forbes is similar, around 90% according to SEMrush and Ahrefs. We've seen our organic traffic. We put, so much time into building that content, but now the organic traffic that was once flowing in tens of thousands of visitors every single month, poof, it's gone. And what can we do, right? I mean, we're in the age of AI. We have to accept it. We have to adapt. So the way that we adapt is by investing in social media, by looking at cost per click and other paid ad sources like Meta ads, for instance, and by looking at our funnel in terms of optimizing for more conversions to get more out of our existing website, to get it to convert better, to work harder for us, almost like an automated salesperson. But in this video, we're talking about the specific, highly tactical strategy that Gary V has here called brand formants. Also, he sometimes calls it the Vayner Volume strategy. So this was something that he came up with a couple of years ago. And I'm going to address this as a potential objection because I did additional research on it in preparation for this video, because I want to see, does it still work? And I think you will be interested to hear the answer to that. So we'll go over that. We'll go over what is the actual strategy, and then we'll finish by talking about how do you implement this for your business today and actually start seeing results from it. So a couple of years ago, a marketing agency was struggling with its ad performance. Their campaigns, they would occasionally hit, but mostly miss. And they couldn't predict what was going to resonate. I mean, personally, I don't know about you, but we were running Meta ads a couple of months ago, and we started getting results, and we wanted to try this other tactic, so we briefly paused the campaign. Big mistake. Just if something is working, just keep doubling down on it, keep going with it. Because once we paused the campaign to try this other campaign, we went back to the main campaign that was working, the new campaign, the fancy tactic, that was recommended to us by this marketing guru. It didn't work. So we went back to the original that was working. We turned it back on, and it didn't work either. Why would Meta's AI do that to us? No idea. But actually there is some idea. It's the fact that people are flooding into social media and especially into ads. So it's, we saw our cost per 1,000 impressions and cost per click for the same exact ad campaigns with the same exact goals just go up by between 50 to 200%. And thus, organic social media, getting that to work, when you apply this strategy, it's not only going to save you money, but it's going to be giving you leads and sales that are just that much easier to close, that much more qualified, because you're earning it. You're not just using some sort of half-baked formula to kind of twist someone's arm, and they're not coming through an ad where they're going to hyper focus on every single claim, and it's going to be a hard sell. And if it's not exactly this or exactly that, which it should be, I mean, don't promise anything that you won't actually be offering. But there is this trend with a lot of ads today, based on a lot of gurus out there, of making it an overly strong guarantee, and it just makes your brand kind of feel like wallpaper, where it's just it's like a commodity. It's okay, this one has this guarantee, this one has, and they're all offering the same thing. So earning the distribution through social media, it takes time, but that's exactly the problem that this strategy helps you to address. And with this agency, again, they were struggling with ad performance. Their campaigns would occasionally hit, mostly miss. They couldn't predict what was going to work, what was going to resonate with people. So Gary V, he talks to them, he introduces them to his Vayner Volume model, okay? It's a strategy that he'd use to build his agency, Vayner Media, into a company that was doing and is today doing over $300 million a year in revenue. And the concept is simple, but it requires a little bit of effort and courage to just actually do it, because it involves creating content, which, let's be honest, it takes effort to do this. And you have to have a little bit of guts to get in front of the camera, to be willing to look sometimes silly or sometimes cringe, I mean, I'm just naturally this hilarious and naturally this good looking, but what can I say? It takes practice. I was always told I have a face for radio and a voice for something. So here's what the concept was. Create massive amounts of content, see what performs organically, and then run ads to the high-performing, proven winners. So here's Gary V saying it in his own words.
I'm most excited about now is something I call brandformance. I would much rather every video I post get 17 views, 100 views, but then if I really got it, give me 19 million. As you know, TikTok is the closest thing to that. You put out organic to these algorithms. All the algorithms on every platform are gonna follow TikTok because it works. It works because it's more based on merit. Now, Meta is going down that direction. Instagram's gonna do that. You're seeing it in YouTube Shorts, which is why I've been saying it. Facebook's fan pages, they're starting to do it as well. So the model is put out as much as you can, different shit. It hits. Now you know that people resonate with it. Now you take it back, the original video, and you change the copy. You slightly tweak it and turn it into a right hook. Put it out, organically it hits, take it back, add to the copy or slightly tweak the copy to make it a transactional piece of content now, not just a brand piece of content. For you, it's P.S. If you're interested in training in the Westchester, Connecticut, Upper New York area, please email me info in my bio and then run $500 worth of ads against that. It's gonna work because the creative's already shown to you, because the algorithm now is not based on people, it's based on interest. So you know the ad is good.
It's a great insight. Taking a piece of content that you see is getting high visibility in terms of the algorithm, it's pushing it out. People are engaging with it, they're liking it, they're commenting on it, they're resharing it. And then you turn that into an ad where you change the packaging just a little bit to make it more transactional. For example, to drive someone to opt in to get like a download, for instance, something like this. So once again, the brandformance or Vayner Volume model is to create diverse content at high volume. Let the audience decide which pieces resonate organically based on likes, comments, views, shares, and then double down and invest only in those top performing pieces, turning them into paid ads with a clear call to action. The algorithm now is not based on people, it's based on interest, right? It's already tested. They have neural nets that will watch your content. They scan it over, and it is literally like they are simulating, as if people were to watch it, who would be most interested in it? How would it perform? Would they watch it all the way through? Would they drop off halfway through it? Would they drop off within the first 5 seconds? Is what is in the video actually valuable, actually going to be watched and give a positive experience while the person is on said platform like TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, for instance? Now, in terms of implementation, what does this actually look like? Okay, what does this actually look like? And we're coming out with another video just after this one about Mr. Beast and the content multiplier system, which relates directly to this. It kind of answers the question of like, well, how do you produce more content if you are limited in terms of time and in terms of budget? So because, and by the way, I'm going to address that too, because I know that many of you watching, you may not have, the ad budget of a $300 million agency, let alone even, 7 figures plus a year. Many small businesses are working with, just maybe tens of thousands of dollars, if that, per year in terms of a marketing budget. And this is more work, right? I get it. It is more work. But again, if you're willing to do something that requires a little more effort, that means that you are actually outpacing some percentage of your competition by definition. Because the more effort that you have to put in to achieve a result, it means that competitors have to put in that same effort. And so they have to convert on actually putting in that effort. And it's less likely that they're actually going to do it if you do it. If you start now, especially, you can gain an advantage. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now, according to an ancient Chinese proverb. So even if you have very few, if any followers across your social media channels, you can still get earned reach by producing content that is valuable and interesting. So in terms of implementation, you want to keep that mindset top of mind, and you want to post 3 to 5 pieces of content per day across the platforms that are most relevant to you for 30 days, okay? Look at it like a 30-day challenge, okay? So again, it's easier than you think to just record short videos with tips. Just get started, okay? You're going to get better. You're going to learn as you grow. It's going to actually end up being easier and fun. The hardest part is just starting. So in terms of implementation, step 1 is just start. Just take out your phone and start talking to your customers. Start giving tips. Start talking about like what problems you're solving for customers, how you solve them, what are the common questions that they have, that they're facing before they're buying, after they're buying, around the purchase decision. And then the algorithm, if what you are saying is good stuff, eventually something is going to hit. And I'll actually share with you some of the stats that we're seeing right now, because we are brand new to social media and we are already seeing results. I mean, I was all in on SEO for many years and I was always skeptical of social media. Oh, like, how does it really work? It's just, kind of, how does it lead to transaction? Because, people they're just like seeing you. Well, turns out people can go and Google, the name of your company, or just type in, grobo.com or whatever the call to action is. Even if it's just a little more work, it's not exactly like a direct link a lot of the time, because, these platforms will penalize you a little bit in terms of reach if you put a link in your post. But still, again, people are going to follow you. They're going to go and search, go type it in directly. So it works. It absolutely works. It helps you to attract and harvest, kind of like a good farming analogy, attract and harvest relationships en masse at the top of your funnel. It's a little bit of a subtle thing. It's very easy to miss because, again, like Gary, he talks fast, but he used the word diverse. You want to create a diverse set of content. So you want to be talking maybe in different locations, different formats, on your phone, in front of the computer. You want to be, wearing different things, perhaps different topics. You want variety. You want to vary the topics, formats, hooks, angles significantly. And you're going to see like what actually is going to work. And then you give it a little bit of time, right? The algorithm does its thing. Sometimes it happens overnight. Sometimes it takes, it'll be weeks, and then like a piece of content will just take off. I've seen it happen where, we have produced content that on YouTube, for example, before we really took it that seriously like we do now. Some of those videos are from years ago, and they still get more views than our existing content that we put out today. They're getting tens of thousands of views, and they're years old. And it's because it is valuable stuff, right? We talked in a previous video about input bias, how Mr. Beast used this as a key point of leverage, and it's shown, so it's detectable in terms of the quality and the end result by the end user. It conveys more value. There's more value associated because it shows that you've done your research, you've done preparation, you're putting in more time or energy, more money to make this content just absolutely deliver for the viewer something that is going to help them. So as you're posting these pieces of content with varying topics, formats, hooks, different angles, you want to be tracking the performance, the engagement rate, comments, views, shares. And after 30 days, you want to be identifying like what were those top performers, 3 to 5 posts. And then you can double down on them if you have an ad budget that allows for it, and you can boost them further or turn them into ads, okay? And just like Gary said, you can package it to be more transactional, sending them to, for example, go download a lead magnet with a clear call to action. You can do this because you already know that it's going to resonate, since it already has resonated organically. So the ad performance is highly likely to be just as good, if not better. In the case of service businesses, you might want to test calls to action with case studies, tactics, results as organic content first. In the case of service businesses, you might want to consider content where you're testing content with different case studies, tactics, and results that other clients have received. And you do that as organic content first. And what this might look like is you produce 30 videos, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 go viral, ideally, or mini viral, you might say. And then you want to double down on those by running ads to get even more ROI to scale up, right? And according to rplg.io, It performs when executed right. So multiple tests and case studies show a higher ROAS or return on ad spend and lower cost per click when promoting organic winners instead of just, fresh, not tested before ad campaigns and ad copy. And it makes sense because, again, we're using organic as that test bed for what will become ads. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I did some additional research because this story, this case study with Gary V and this other marketing agency that he advised that ended up getting results from this, it was a couple of years ago. So I want to confirm that this strategy still works. And I also want to dive more into the idea of how will it work and does it work just as well if you are just focused on organic. So the short answer is that yes, it does work just as well, if not better, as a couple of years ago when he first came up with this model. And the reason why it works is that platforms are now expecting this flow. And the way that he's defined it, the way that he advises clients to execute on it is owned, earned, paid. With owned, it means that you're starting with media that you own, like your existing followers and your existing channels and your existing email list. And you send out the content to your email list first, you test, you get the results, and you push it on social media. And we do this too, like we'll test subject lines, for instance, and then whatever hits in terms of the subject line, we'll actually update our blog article and sometimes also update the YouTube title with whatever got the higher click-through rate with our email list. Because that's just data from people who we know are close to or more likely to be buying from us if they're on our email list. So it makes sense. And then obviously the third step is paid, where you convert the content to paid ads. And today also native tools make this even easier. So for example, like TikTok Spark ads turn top organic posts into ads. This keeps the social proof. So again, it's about keeping the social proof that is there. People are already liking it, they're already commenting and talking about it. And this social proof helps people to be more attracted to whatever it is that you're offering. And Meta, like TikTok, has existing posts as ads and a creative testing feature, basically just allowing you to promote proven posts and test variants inside of the ads manager. But some best practices that you should be aware of, because the landscape has become more competitive in terms of social media, especially just in the last 6 to 12 months, with more people flooding in, wanting to run ads, wanting to do organic as well. You need to produce high volume of content. You need to, in other words, just have like shorter creative cycles. So instead of 30 days, you want to be operating on a daily or weekly basis. Organic reach, it's tighter. You need faster creative turnover as a result. When it comes to ads, just use broad or auto targeting to scale your winners and let the algorithm more or less do the work for you there too. Now, what would cause this to not work for you basically is if you do volume, but the quality is actually very low, where there's no hooks, there's no clear angles. It's just mush. It's just slop, almost like AI slop. Plus, if you're looking at the data, you should start to be able to pick up on patterns in terms of what is winning and those formats that are not winning. And you want to stop doing those and just keep doubling down on what is working. And this is really the key principle, even if you have no ad budget, that I want you to walk away from this video from, is you're going to see what is performing, and whatever is spiking up the most in terms of going viral, in terms of just getting more views, more engagement. You want to double down on studying and then re-implementing and copying that format again and again and again. So see if you can replicate the success and do it better and bigger the next time. And just as a quick example, we're really early on in terms of our social media, and we're a B2B business, so we don't need a ton of leads to actually be doing pretty well. But we just started on LinkedIn, for instance, and I can tell you, we've been in business for 15 years. We started as an agency. We became a $1 million company, then a multi-million-dollar company starting in 2021. So we've been around for a while, and we just started to invest in social media. But you can see here that it's not like super impressive or anything. In this middle period, I was actually distracted, had some personal things I had to take care of. But you can see that these at the beginning, right, of this time period and at the end, it just kind of keeps going up and up and up, and it is compounding. It is going up faster. So it looks like for the next 30 days, we'll actually be we're on track to do more than double the number of impressions that we did for the first 28 days here, where we're averaging about 120 impressions per day, which should put us around a little over 3,000, maybe 3,500-ish impressions for the month. And that's going to represent probably about 1,500 to 2,000 actual members that we're reaching. And LinkedIn is excellent if you are B2B. As further evidence that this works, and again, we've only just started doing this for a short period of time, and we've been like not the best at it. Where again, there was like a 2-week time period there in the middle where I just got distracted. I couldn't keep making content because I was checked out. But now that I'm back on track for the last week and a half, again, you can see it's translating to results in terms of traffic on our website. And these are actually, I wasn't sure, like based on how it's spiking up, we're doing between 400 to 500 visitors a day right now, and it's still maintaining high. And our SEO is actually up as well, which is fantastic. Our search traffic is also up, by the way, which is fantastic. But these are real visitors. These are people who are opting into our email list. These are people who are watching our demo video. And so this actually works if you in any way have been a skeptic of social media marketing, as I have been for way too long, with just honestly like a couple of weeks of actually dedicated work, because again, that middle period we weren't even working. You can start to see like real results like this, and it's just begun. I can't imagine where we will be another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now. So I encourage you, take action, just start. That's the hardest part. Try to create 3 pieces of content, or even just 1 per day to start, and then start stacking. Go for 3. Okay. And build it into your daily routine. That's what I've done. I'm moving towards a model where I'm just going to be doing it like 1 or 2 days per week, and the rest of the week I'll be focused on like ops and product. But as a business owner, as the owner of your company, like this is critical in terms of securing the growth and the distribution for your company, so that you don't always have to be at the mercy of paying for ads. And when you are ready to pay for ads, again, the cost per click, you're gonna spend less time, you're gonna spend less money, because you're gonna be using your own earned media. Those winners that have been proven to actually perform well and get lots of reach organically on these different platforms. So speaking of execution, I'd like to tell you about Grobo. Grobo is my company. I'm the founder of Grobo, and we help businesses to actually do this work, because it is very time consuming, so that you can actually scale up your brand and your reach, and you can go viral. But you can be putting out so much more in terms of content with the help of a company like Grobo, because the way that I'm able to turn like one piece of content like this into literally 15 different posts, where we have, both the main video that's edited and polished, and then we have a blog article, and then we have a newsletter, and then we have our YouTube shorts, we have our TikTok shorts, we have our Instagram reels, we have our Instagram posts, we have our Facebook shorts, videos, text posts. We have LinkedIn as well. So we're putting out a total of at least 15 different posts every single day, basically turning this kind of this hub and spoke model, where it's like the YouTube video is the core, and then we turn it into these multiple other pieces of content and formats. And the result of that, again, is where we're seeing compounding results. It's very early, but it's pretty quick. And we're learning, right? We're getting better in terms of what works. So if you would like help with that, or delegating any of your digital marketing tasks and projects in general, Grobo helps you to delegate all of your digital marketing tasks and projects without the headaches of hiring. Because you sign up, it's a flat monthly fee, there's no long-term contract, there's a 14-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee, because we believe in the product and we're not going to sell it to you if we don't believe that we are a great fit. And you're going to get just an all-in-one team of dedicated professionals, not virtual assistants. It's less than the cost of one full-time virtual assistant. It's an amazing value for that reason alone. But you're getting a full team of copywriters, designers, both in terms of graphic design, web design, apps management, ads management, project management, video editing, motion graphics, and more. So you can check it out and learn more at grobo.com if that sounds interesting to you. It's gonna help you to execute on this so that you can scale your content production and just also improve your overall website funnel, improve your marketing, run your ads, so that you can focus on, what you do best in your business, which might be strategy and working with customers and working on the product. And instead just delegate the rest to us, give us feedback, and then we will push it live for you. It's we look at it as a true partnership with our clients. We're not an agency, we're a marketing fulfillment team, and it's an amazing value that you get. Plus, there are built-in quality checks at every step along the way, which also saves you time in terms of having to review deliverables and give feedback. All right. So check it out if you're interested by going to growbo.com. We also have a PDF of 33 examples, which you can check out in the description directly below this video. Just click that link and you can download that PDF to see 33 examples of projects that you can delegate to Growbo right now.